Yes. Okay, so you already got this started. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Well,
I call this meeting to order at 5:59 p.m. October 13th.
Desert Queen number
And
6.
if everybody could please stand for the pledge. One, two, three.
Oh, you can have it.
You may be seated now. My name is Jaden Bauer. I am president of the environmental club at the high school, which I started. It's the first environmental club our high school has had, and we've been doing almost bi-monthly campus cleanups, which we hope to reach outside campus and in 29 Palms as well. And we've joined the National High School Climate Forum that has over 90 schools across the United States of the Eastern and Western region. So Natalie Plummer and I are delegates for the Western region. So we attend monthly meetings and webinars where there are speakers from like prestigious colleges that talk about environmental things and give us more tips on how to better our knowledge on it. And so it's been super successful. There's about 20 to 25 members, and it's going really good.
Thank you. Just a little certificate thanking you from the city of 29 Palms. Okay.
Thank you.
Get a picture. And if you can please remain stand up, please, for the invocation by Pastor Washington.
Let us pray. Our Father in heaven, I lift up and I pray for our mayor pro tem, and the leaders of the city of 29 Palms. I pray for the leaders in my local, federal, and state government, those with decision-making ability, those with responsibility for my country, my state, and my great city of 29 Palms. Your word says that you hold the heart of the king. You raise up one and you put another down. Father, I pray that every leader in our city council, that they will fear you and that they will revere you in the name of Jesus. And so, Father, I lift up and I hold up before you our mayor pro tem, members of the city council, and the leaders within our military and our intelligence forces right here in 29 Palms. I pray for the protection, the safety, the deliverance of the people in the government, the people within my country, the people within my great state of California, my city, and even my neighborhood. Your kingdom come, your will be done in my country, in my state, in the wonderful city of 29 Palms, in this world, and in the country of Israel. I bind the spirit of terrorism. I put 1,000 terrorist spirits to flight in the name of Jesus. I speak to the terror spirit, and I declare that every plot, every plan, every scheme that is formed against my country, that is formed against Israel, and that is formed against my state, my city, my neighborhood, my schools, all believers all across this world, we are bound and we are broken, and we bind and we break and we tear asunder all of those spirits in Jesus' name. And I pray for the homeless. I pray for the lost, the sick, for the hurting all over this country, this state, the city of 29 Palms. And I pray that your peace would fill this earth. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen. Thank you. These proceedings may be viewed on demand on the City of 29 Palms website at www.29palms.org. You may also live stream this meeting by going to our website and clicking the meeting agenda link. And let's see, December 27, 2022, these are announcements. Roll call. That would help. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Mintz,
Should have been ready. Here.
Councilmember Klink,
Here.
Councilmember Buildering,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Wright,
Here.
Mayor Ogilvy,
Here.
all present.
All right, I'm sorry, it's so much on the agenda that I was on my way, but anyway, announcements. Any changes to the announcements, to the agenda?
Just one, Madam Mayor. We'll bring item number 22 up in front of item number 19, changing the selection of mayor and mayor pro tem.
All right. Okay. And then we are canceling December 27th meeting. And the State of the City address is on tomorrow at Freedom Plaza at 5 p.m. Hope to see you there. And that is it. So now awards, presentations, appointments, and proclamations.
All right, time to get some money away. We got the cash for trash. And so first we have the Wildcat Touchdown Club. Anybody here for them? Okay, I'm keeping the money. Feathers and Furs Wildlife Rehab Team. Yep, they're here. All right, come on in. How y'all doing? All right, so. Good. So first we want you to tell us where you cleaned up at. Yeah, right here.
Ocotillo and Sunny Slope.
All right, good. Thank you very much. So on behalf of Burtec and the city of 29 Palms, we want to present you with this check and thank you for cleaning up 29 Palms. All right? Thank you. Yes. Oh. Oh, okay. Okay. All right, next we got the 29 Palms High School Music Booster Association. Hello. So what we want you to do is sing where you, tell us where you cleaned up at.
Cactus Drive and Cienega, and we managed to clean the lot in 2 hours with our select choir.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
All right.
There's 26, this
Okay,
year,
good.
yeah.
Well, on behalf of Burtech and the city of 29 Palms, we want to present you with this check and
Thank
thank
you.
you for cleaning the city.
Thank you so much, sir.
All right.
Have a good night, everyone.
Wait, don't go nowhere.
Oh, no, we're not going anywhere. Oh. Oh, okay, sorry.
And then I would like to call Assemblyman Tom Lackey in. He has a presentation as well.
Okay, first of all, let me just be very fast and introduce myself. I am your new assembly member. I come from Palmdale, so this is exciting for me to make a little drive. But you're going to see a fair amount of me. I was raised in a small desert town right next to Edwards Air Force Base, a little town called Boron. So I'm used to the desert, and I'm thankful for the desert, and I love the desert. And so I'm excited to be able to represent you. And I know that it's important that you know who I am and that you feel comfortable approaching me and the people that I have designated as staff members. But I also believe it's important to show up. And so I'm not going to be a stranger, even though there's some miles between us. I'm used to driving. I am a retired California Highway Patrol member, so driving is something I enjoy. And yeah, I'm very thankful to represent you. I'm honored to represent you, and I wanted to be here at my first opportunity to introduce myself and to actually recognize some of the good things that are happening here. And so we have a certificate acknowledging the accomplishment of these two groups, the Feathers and Fur Wildlife Rehab Team. I have a certificate here from the State Assembly acknowledging what they've accomplished. So let me just share this with you. And also the 29 Palms High School Music Boosters. Here you go. Thank you. Thank you. And we want a picture really fast, if you guys don't mind. We'd like to come over here so we can memorialize this.
Yes. One?
Yeah. Can we get one of the council members in?
Yeah, we love it. The mayor.
I know. I know.
Thank you, everyone.
All right, next. If you guys didn't know, the high school, 29 Palms High School volleyball team went to state, and they did some great things this year, and we wanted to recognize them. So, volleyball team, y'all just come on up here. I got a bunch of these things. Okay, I'm gonna call some names. If I mess it up, don't worry about it, okay? I got Melissa. All right. Oh, look, that's the coach. That's the coach. Marlo.
You can.
Mary Lou. All right. Okay. Gabriella. All right. Oliviana. I got that right. What I'm talking about. Alexa. I got close enough. Uh-oh. Tua. Tui. All right. Ooh. Who don't have one? Okay.
I'll give a list.
So, Assemblyman, if you'd like to present yours as well and just call them out and
Yeah,
like you did.
okay. Let's see if I can do any better. Too young.
Yeah, you got a little help
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Got to hear you first.
Coach Melissa McIver. Did I say that right? McGivern, I'm sorry. Mary Lou Mullen.
Correct.
Did I say it right?
All right.
Thank you. And Coach Vincent Bouillon.
And then I have that one, and then I didn't hear one of the names. Gabrielle.
Olivia and Ryan? I don't know who we don't have, but hopefully we got
it's-
everybody here.
How you say your name?
Yeah, we did.
Gabriella Wonderly?
Itzel.
It's not.
Yeah.
There we go.
And Itzel Solorio.
And then picture again.
Can we do a picture?
Yeah.
Down here?
Oh, Lexi?
Oh, Alexia.
Alexa.
You're in there. Be forgotten, thank you.
All right, y'all slide a little bit this way, right here, like that.
Yeah, you gotta slide a little.
Those who are not here. Those who are not here.
You don't have the photos for you? Oh, you already got them from us? Girls go up front. Sorry. You ready?
Too many people. Just wonder how many people are going to clear out once.
Sorry. Data. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Paparazzi.
Well done, everybody.
That's my kid. That's my kid. That's not my kid. That's my coach. That's my teacher.
All right. Next, we're going to have council comments and reports of meetings attended. We'll start with you, Councilmember.
Well, thank you, Madam Mayor. It's Mince, by the way. She didn't say anything. That's why I was teasing. She couldn't remember my name. Well, first of all, while they're still here, I would like to congratulate the volleyball team out there. I know a lot of people don't know this, but they did take they took second place in the CIF Division 8. And then they went to state, but they were in the finals. And the coach just happens to be my daughter. But hi, daughter. I also went to the tree lighting ceremony, and then went to the grand opening of Corner 62. There's four shops in there. If you haven't been there yet, make sure you visit there. And also went to the Marine Corps Ball and visited with the general. If nobody knows the general from the base, you should get to know him. He's Sparky. I never seen a general go by a nickname before. He goes by Sparky. And then also participated in the mayor's mayor pro tem golf tournament, which we'll be giving away toys. Mac will let you know that. And also the other participant up here that was open the meeting is my other daughter, Jaden. Pretty proud of her too. Thank you.
Wow. My daughter can't do that. She's in England.
Councilmember Klink.
Thank you, Mayor. First of all, congratulations, volleyball team. Great season. I also attended the tree lighting and also the Christmas light parade, which was very well attended. Thank you all very much who participated. Went to the Marine Corps Ball as well. Grand opening of the Corner 62 and the Mayor Pro Tem toys for Twentynine. All the toys that we got donated will be distributed, and they're all to the kids in 29 Palms. And of course, me being the singing mayor, I must do this, and I wish you a Merry Christmas. I wish you a Merry Christmas. I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Great, I got to follow that up. All right.
Yeah, go ahead. Do it. Rudolph.
We're doing rap. All right. No, congrats to the volleyball team. I think I was at every one of your games, so I watched all your determination, and I watched the coach scream and do her thing. And your girls, from day one of the season to the end of the last game, you guys went from 0 to 100. I was really proud of watching you guys play. So congratulations once again. Hope to repeat next year. Coach, that's on you. All right. Attended the Corner 62 grand opening, all the shops there. Employee appreciation luncheon, where we showed our appreciation towards the staff here. That was a great turnout at Rockies.
Tree lighting ceremony and the golf tournament also attended. I did not come in last place, so that's always a benefit. I think the other team left early, that's why I didn't come in last. But it was always a good time. Got a lot of toys, and I hope to see everyone on Thursday when we hand them out.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Congratulations to the girls volleyball team again. Great job, great season. I also attended the, employee luncheon. It was good food. I give it top notch. And then we also went to the Marine Corps ball. The general gave a fantastic speech. It was awesome. And then I also attended the grand opening of the Corner 62, and I attended the tree lighting and Christmas light parade, and it was, I think, probably half of the city out there, so it was a great attendance. It was greatly appreciated, and I'm glad to see everybody out there. It was cold, too, but that was still good. Also attended the Mayor Pro Tem golf tournament. I did wear my helmet, so I didn't get hit in the head this time, so we're good. And we're going to be doing our toy giveaway Thursday, the 15th of December, right down in Freedom Plaza, starting at 3 p.m. So please spread the word. Tell them to come. We got a bunch of toys we got to give away. And we're going to give all of them away to the city of 29 Palms. So come out, get a toy, get a few toys for your children. All right? So again, that's Thursday, the 15th of December, starting at 3 p.m., Freedom Plaza. We'll see you there. And I do want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
All righty. I was present at the Marine Corps ball. It had been a while since my husband and I had attended, but it was really nice, and the general was so inspiring. I was ready to raise my right hand and join the Marine Corps till I figured out I was just a little bit past the age limit. Also, I attended the golf tournament. I do not golf, so I did not dare pick up a club, and they didn't let me drive any of the golf carts. But that's okay. The appreciation luncheon was amazing. The food really was amazing. I'm addicted now to Rocky's Pizza, so if you haven't tried it, you need to try it. I attended the tree lighting ceremony and the light parade, and it was fantastic. I do believe that most everyone in 29 Palms did show up for it. It was very inspiring. It's like when you think that the city staff could not do something better, then they take it up a notch on you. And so it was really taken up a notch. So if you see any of the employees, thank them for the hard work that they did, because they did an amazing job. And I think that is it. So in all my haste and everything, I forgot my portion for my selection for Employee of the Year and Citizen of the Year. So is Eli?
Patrick says I remember I could participate in this because it's MBTA.
How are you? Good. I selected Eli Marshall, and the reason why I did was from the very first time that I encountered Eli, which was 4 years ago, he has always been nothing but helpful for me. I know I may have kind of got on his nerves in the beginning, getting locked out of my account, and okay, well, I forgot my password. Can you help me do this? Can you help me do that? He was always so willing to help me with a smile on, and he was just consistent in his professionalism. So I could not help but select you as Employee of the Year. So thank you so very much in all that you say and do.
Okay, we'll also extend our congratulations there for this recognition. I'm sure you're doing some great things here in the city of 29 Palms. We appreciate your undertaking. Want to recognize you on behalf of the California State Assembly. Thank you, sir. Well done, man.
Yeah, just okay.
And next, the Mayor's Recognition Award is presented to James Baskin as our Citizen of the Year. Thank you. I've known James, and I'm sorry, I'm a Marine's wife, so I just call him Baskin, like my husband always has. I've known Baskin for 20-plus years. And one thing I can always say about him, he has a very big heart. Not only does he have a big heart, he has a big heart for the community. Anytime that we need anything from him, he's always been so willing to help the city out. You have made so many children's Christmases possible. Anything that you can do. I remember at one point in time we were doing something and you went out and bought us all pizza to eat. So you know, you have such a giant heart that I couldn't help but to nominate you for the Citizen of the Year. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
This only is just a token of all that you do.
We love it.
You wanna say something? I'll give you an opportunity to say something.
Go ahead, man. Take the floor.
I thank y'all so much for this opportunity to stand in front of you. And like we say, we have been in 29 Palms since I was a little kid at 18. And who would ever thought that we would come to the desert? And with all the help from the city, not even knowing how to operate a business or get a business going, there's been a lot of great help here and getting this accomplished with many different businesses. And as well, this weekend, Sunday, at our own warehouse, we're going to do the toy giveaway. And my wife, like her brand new business, so we're going to be giving kids shoes, because we said nobody in 29 Palms will be shoeless. Our main thing is the kids, but we do have adult shoes that will be there too, and we'll be there from 8 o'clock until it stops at the Bullion warehouse. And we see all the faces that we knew when we was a little kid growing up, and it's still a pleasure to be here in 29 Palms. I wouldn't want to be nowhere else, and anytime you need anything that I can assist with, we'll be here for you. I thank you.
Well, let me just say congratulations.
Thank you,
I'm sure
sir.
this was a selection that is worthy of this recognition. On behalf of the California State Assembly, there you go. There's your recognition.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Well done.
Up to- sir. Well, this one too. Same. You have. I mean. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you once again. All right.
You're not being told what to do. He's like, no, I
So, because you're the mayor,
Yes.
and we'd like to present you with this gavel for you to keep and have. And we also want to present you with this wonderful gift.
Oh,
Alright.
thank you, each and every one of you, thank you. It's been such an honor to serve, and it's been such an honor to serve with all of you. Each of you I've gotten to know personally, from the council members to the staff, definitely the Mayor Pro Tem. Even got to know more residents of 29 Palms, so I really appreciate it, and thank you very much.
Can you go this way for the picture? Oh, thank you. With this, somebody go ahead.
Well, I want to talk first. no one in this room really knows me or knows my history, but I did serve on the city council for 9 years. And I can just tell you that local government is a lot more fun than state government because you actually get to see stuff happen that you contribute to, and you live with the people that you represent. And it's very, very exciting. And I just want you to know that we're very, very proud of the service that you've afforded here in 29 Palms. Even though I've not represented this area, I know you're a former assembly member, and he's a very good friend of mine, and I'm very, very thankful for the service that you provided here to the people here in 29 Palms, and we're proud to represent you. Even though this is my name on here, I know that he was also very, very proud of you, and that's Mr. Chad Mays. He was a fantastic individual. So thank you very much, and congratulations.
Yeah, send them. I like them.
Thank you.
Okay, now let's see. Consent calendar. All matters listed under the consent calendar are to be considered routine by the city council and will be enacted upon by one motion in the form listed. Any item may be removed from the consent calendar and considered separately by the city council. The public will be given an opportunity to comment on the consent calendar items prior to the city council's actions. So, is there anyone who wants to remove anything from the consent calendar?
No, Madam Mayor, I don't want to remove anything, but I'd like the city manager to just give just a brief description of, because on this, on number 13, it says a single audit report. I'd just like him to just let everybody know the reason what that audit's about.
Sure. Madam Mayor, members of the council, each year we do an audit, a general audit of our books. But in addition to that, if in a single year we receive over $750,000 of federal dollars, we have to do what's called a single audit. So we perform that, our independent auditors performed that single audit, and it came back with no material weaknesses, and it was basically a clean audit, so.
Thank you.
Okay. Is there anyone in the, is there anyone in the audience that would like to comment on the consent calendar? All right, back to the council.
I'll move the consent calendar, but I'll abstain from item number 9, has to do with the Project Phoenix warrant register.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Klink.
Aye.
Councilmember Buildering.
Aye.
Councilmember Mintz.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Wright.
Aye.
Mayor Ogilvy.
Aye.
Approved 5-0.
I have just a little bit to say, and I can promise you it won't be long. To the current Mayor Pro Tem, council members, and the wonderful staff of this great city that we all call home, and the residents of 29 Palms, I would like to say thank you. To the residents, collectively, this council will continue to listen to your voices and carry out the business of our city. To the city staff, continue to do what you do with excellence. To the council, I would like to personally thank you collectively for what you have done for me these past 4 years. You have passed on your knowledge and wealth of city government to a first-time council member. Amanda Gorman said in her poem, "The Hill We Climb," quote, "We will be striving to forge our union with purpose, to compose a country committed to all cultures, colors, characters, and condition of man. And so we lift our gaze not to what stands between us, but to what stands before us, end quote. I came to the council with a passion for 29 Palms, not only for what it was, what it is presently, and what its future holds, not growth out of control. I dream and still do of concentrating on not our differences, but what we have in common. I do not focus on male or female, a political affiliation, what your spiritual beliefs are, whether you're pro-business or against business, not even the color of your skin. I'm not concerned if you have a vacation home rental or not. I choose to focus my attention on what is best for the city and its residents. Look above all the noise and discord and truly see that we are alike. Amanda Gorman's poem also says, quote, "We seek harm to none and harmony for all. Let the globe, if nothing else, say this is true, that even as we grieve, we grow, that even as we hurt, we hope, that even as we tired, we tried, that will forever be tied together, victorious, not because we would never know defeat again, but because we would never again sow division," end quote. I would like to thank my husband, Gary, who enabled me to serve my 4 years here on the city council, my children, Ashlyn and Sean, who were an inspiration to me. And a side note, my son gave me a name when I became mayor, and I became to him Mayor Karmolette. And the true reason why I do what I do is for my grandsons, Aiden and Omri, and for my goddaughter, Hope. It is their future that are in our hands right now. I would like to thank all my family members and my church family for all their support and prayers. Now, I will not say goodbye. Instead, I'll say I'll see you later, because the future is always ahead of us and never behind us. So thank you. So now, recess?
So if I can have Mayor Pro Tem Wright, Councilmember Mintz, and newly elect Scott to the front here. We will do the oaths. Okay, I will have you raise your right hand. And once I say "I," you will repeat your name and then repeat after me. So I do solemnly affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter. Congratulations. At this time, we'll take a brief, short recess, okay?
You want to load up the
is right when we get back. Yeah, because she's first. She's first. It's on the. Right. Up the podium, and she could run it.
We're gonna select the man.
Shall I put that on? I'll leave it here. I don't want to walk off with it. It's a long way to go.
When we come back. So, well, I think Cindy usually leaves it. Maybe take this off.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Is he being presumptuous? So you're gonna let me swim?
Say what? Oh, yeah, we're gonna get you a letter right now. I'm giving me the schedule for the maintenance.
Okay.
I'm scared of this.
Yeah, and the team, that has the links for me.
I'm away with it. I'm away. To me, but I'm like, I don't know if it's on the side for me. I'm like, yes, it is. Oh. You go too.
How are you?
We don't want you to learn something new. Where am I going to time? Like, where am I going? It's like, oh.
And then on top of that, like,
It's like crisis triathlon. Not glad that's what you're doing. It's like crisis. I know.
So we got another one in. Whenever you're ready, if you want to call. Where's he? Is he in the back or something?
Sometimes it's easier to do when you're.
Oh, no.
I'm gonna call this meeting back to order. And next, we're going to do item number 22. Oh, I'm sorry.
22.
Yeah, 22.
Could I just make the motion? Or do you have to read it?
There you go.
So when the city incorporated in November of 1987, the original city council developed a selection procedure for the mayor and mayor pro tem seats that would provide stability to the city council and allow for orderly succession. The selection procedure adopted by the city council established that the council members ascend to the mayor's seat, and the order of succession is determined by the number of votes received in the elections. Since the mayor and mayor pro tem change annually as the mayor pro tem ascends to the mayor's seat, the individual who received the highest votes becomes the mayor pro tem. So at this time, I'm taking nominations for mayor.
I'll nominate MacArthur Wright.
Second.
Mayor, first and the second, is everyone in approval of this? Yep, okay.
Aye.
Aye.
I make a motion for Mr. Belderain to be mayor pro tem.
Second.
If we have a first and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
What? He's making faces, I don't know. Okay, we now have a mayor, Mayor Wright, and Mayor Pro Tem Belderain. Congratulations.
Okay, before I move on, I wrote some stuff down just in case.
Just in case.
Just in case we didn't elect you.
All right. And y'all know I like to read it so I don't miss nothing. So, good evening. It is an honor to address you for the first time this year as the mayor of 29 Palms. As a retired United States Marine, my family and I have called this city home for the past 20 plus years. First and foremost, I want to thank my Father in heaven for his continued guidance, wisdom, provision, and divine direction in my life. I want to thank Pastors TK and Jerry Washington. I also thank the members of the City Council and the staff of the City of 29 Palms for their continued dedication and commitment to our city. We are all indeed blessed to have members with so much wonderful experience, knowledge, expertise, and vision. I am looking forward to working in unison and in accord with them to make our desert paradise gleam even more. Thank you to my ever and continually supportive family and friends. Your provision and love fuel my success to strive ahead and accomplish triumphs. I especially thank my wonderful wife of 37 years, Alfreda. Yep, 37 years she's been putting up with me. Who continues to be a source of strength and inspiration to me. I would not be the man I am today without her. Love you. I am eager to serve you as the mayor of 29 Palms in 2023. Our city is indeed a tight-knit, wonderful community. Romans chapter 12, verse 1 states, "Therefore I urge you, brothers and sisters, in view of God's mercy, to offer your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God. This is your true and proper worship." As a city, we have a very strong relationship with the Marine Corps base, and it is my desire to see this relationship grow even stronger. We will also maintain our very robust liaison with Joshua Tree National Park, the town of Yucca Valley, the Morongo Basin, as well as our county and state representatives. I will endeavor to bring county and state resources to 29 Palms, and we will strive to develop and grow our infrastructure. I will continue to advocate for our veterans and their families. Many residents have lived here a long time, longer than me. As such, we can all learn from one another and share our experiences and know-how. With age indeed comes wisdom. I encourage my fellow citizens to share their proven wisdom with me. You have my word. I will listen with eager ears and give you the respect you deserve. I believe in the wisdom of Ecclesiastes taken from chapter 4, verse 9, which states, "Two are better than one because they have a good return for their labor." And I also believe in the teaching of Apostle Paul, who tells us in Philippians chapter 2, verse 4, to not look to our own interests, but each of you to the interests of the others. 2023 will see the Freedom Plaza as a destination location. This completed local jewel will showcase the cultural center, multi-purpose facility, and Saturday farmers market, which has grown tremendously in size and attendance. All these sparkling facets highlight our downtown neighborhood and other surrounding businesses. In 2023, there will be more in-depth discussions regarding the sewer project. As I have stated in the past, it is my desire to gain as much financial support from outside entities to defer as much as possible the associated costs to local residents. I will continue to actively pursue and attain the most monies we can in an effort to lower costs to all who live here. 2023 will have your mayor serving you. The book of John chapter 12 verse 26 reads, "Whoever serves me must follow me, and where I am, my servant also will be. My Father will honor the one who serves me." So this year or next year, we're going to have Grilling Out with the Mayor. And it will take place at different locations, which will be announced. I will be cooking, grilling, and serving our citizens as they have the chance to talk with me in person and grill me with questions, ideas, and suggestions. It will be a fun, informal opportunity to enjoy delicious barbecued food and share conversations. In conclusion, it is my desire to see our city grow even stronger. I will do my part in making sure that 29 Palms is a safe, thriving community where people will want to make their home. Together, we can make this happen. The book of Matthew, chapter 20, verse 26 says, "It shall not be so among you, but whoever will be great among you must be your servant." In grateful servant humility, I thank you all again. And may God bless the United States of America, the city of 29 Palms, and each and every one of you. And again, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Now down to business.
Mayor, can I just welcome Councilmember Scott to the dais and look forward to working together with us as a council, and good luck.
Thank you very much.
Learning curve in the first year at least.
There you go. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Welcome. All right.
I already called him. I already welcomed him.
I just want to say thank you to the city of 29 Palms and the council and the mayor. I think that this is kind of new for me, but I'm excited to get out there and get the work done.
All right. Welcome. Okay, we're going to open up public hearing. Number 19, updates to the housing element, safety element, and land use element of the general plan.
Mr. Mayor, I want to introduce Nicole Christ, who is our consultant for this project. She works for Terra Nova, and she's here to present this item.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of council. There we go. I'm not great at technology, so I apologize if I mess this up. This evening, we have 3 items for you.
Point over here.
There we go. We have 3 items for your consideration. All 3 are components of the general plan. They are our update to the housing element, which is a mandatory update required every 8 years, an update to the safety element to address flood control and state law changes since the general plan was adopted, and an update to the land use element, which includes 2 new maps to cover the changes in land use from the downtown specific plan, as well as identification of disadvantaged communities in our sphere of influence, which is also a requirement of state law. The housing element is entirely updated, and in your packets you have track changes for the safety element and land use element, because those are much smaller changes. The housing element is a required element of the general plan that addresses our anticipated housing need for the period from October 2021 to October 2029. We did not change significantly the policy direction in the housing element, but we did accommodate our regional housing needs assessment, which is the RENA, which is assigned to us by the Southern California Association of Governments. They had 1.3 million housing units to assign to the region, and they assigned us 1,047 that are divided by income groups. About half of those are above moderate income households, and about half are for moderate and lower income households. The goals and policies in the housing element help us achieve these goals. It is important to note that the city is not responsible for building these units, but the housing element is intended to make sure that we facilitate their construction by others. We have assigned a number of sites, and all of this is in your packet, for potential sites for affordable housing. The project that is moving forward that the city is assisting with is number 14 on the map. That's at adjacent to City Hall. We have identified sites for about twice as much of the RENA as possible to allow the city some flexibility. There is new law in California that requires no net loss, that you have to be able to provide sufficient sites for housing without losing them. So by having extras, we allow some flexibility as projects are brought forward to move from one site to the next. There are, as I said, no significant policy changes. There are requirements in the housing element to make updates to the development code, primarily associated with changes in law relating to accessory dwelling units, density bonus law, which has changed in the last couple of years. We have to add a definition of employee housing and low barrier navigation centers, and change our multifamily approval process to make it, to facilitate the construction of multifamily units. And as the council is well aware, the ongoing challenge with multifamily units in the city is the lack of sewer, which is also addressed in the housing element, and the efforts that the city is making towards improving sewer service through the community. The safety element is a required update by state law. It required that we update flooding and fire maps to reflect current standards and current mapping. It incorporates the city's local hazard mitigation plan and deals with climate change adaptation and adds policies to address those subjects. And as I said, the land use element amends 2 exhibits to reflect the changes in the downtown specific plan and the sphere of influence, and to identify and discuss the provision of services for disadvantaged unincorporated communities in the sphere of influence. The city prepared an initial study for this project. It was found that the housing element, land use element, and safety elements would not have a significant impact on the environment because they are policy documents and will not facilitate any actual construction. And individual impacts will be addressed when projects are brought forward. So a negative declaration is proposed for you this evening and included in the resolution. The recommendation of the Planning Commission is that the City Council adopt the 3 elements as amended and adopt the negative declaration. And that concludes my staff report, and I am glad to answer any questions.
I guess if you can make a comment about what the state legislature is doing with taking some of this stuff out of our hands as far as where zoning is, certain zonings are, they're allowing more density in each area, right? I mean,
There is no longer single-family zoning in the state of California. We are now, the state has imposed a level of local control that requires that we allow up to 4 units on a single-family lot, depending on standards. In this community, that will be somewhat limited by the lack of sanitary sewer service.
thank you. Some folks aren't aware of what they're doing to us up there, but they just thought that should come out.
I have a question. You guys do the flooding and fire zone mapping?
We were,
The reason why I ask is we have I'm an insurance agent, so I'm kind of, the flood, especially the fire hazard mapping. We have on this side of the highway down towards Indian Cove as fire line 10, and they're in a wildfire zone. We don't have wildfires out here. And it boggles my mind.
the maps are created by the state.
And where do they get their information
By
from?
CAL FIRE, I don't know, sir. We are required to include state and local zones as it's mapped in the safety element. And I do realize we don't have wildfires here.
And not that I want to save the people money, because when you're in a 10 compared to a 3, you're paying a lot more money for your insurance, and I don't think that's fair for the people.
Understood, sir.
Who do we have to see about that? Do you know of any contact up there?
So Councilmember Klink, what I'll do is, let me do some research on it, and I'll bring some information back to the council, and maybe we could look at, making some requests.
Any more questions? Okay, now we're gonna open up to the public. Anybody got any comments on this? Okay, close public hearing. Looking for a motion.
I'll make a motion to adopt the resolution approving the initial study, negative declaration, and adopting the amendments to the housing, safety, and land use elements.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Roll call.
Councilmember Klink.
Aye.
Councilmember Bilderrain.
Aye.
Councilmember Scott. Councilmember
Aye.
Mintz.
Aye.
Mayor Wright.
Aye.
And I apologize, Mayor Pro Tem Bilderrain. Approved 5-0.
Okay, discussion and potential action items. San Bernardino County Housing Trust.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. We have a presentation this evening from SB COG that will kind of talk us through the Regional Housing Trust. Part of the action this evening will be to make a motion to join the County Housing Trust, have the mayor, I'm going to pull up the staff report here real quick, I apologize, have the mayor sign a letter of intent to join it if the council feels that it is necessary. The manager is recommending joining the Housing Trust, and we'll hear a presentation. So Monique?
Hi, good evening. My name is Monique Ariano, and I am from San Bernardino Council of Governments. First of all, I want to say congratulations to all you have been seated this evening. It's an honor for me to be here tonight. So I want to get started with what this presentation is, but before I do, I wanted to give some context as to how we got where we are. We started this process about a year ago, and we have been working with our city managers TAC. We meet with our city managers throughout the region on a monthly basis, and it's been a really collaborative effort from staff perspective, working with the city managers to really create the scope and what we are proposing ultimately to our committees and to the board this month and in January. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get started. So what is a housing trust? Essentially, it's a tool to bring outside dollars to this region to build affordable housing, as well as and implement other programs that fall under the big umbrella of housing. So the benefits of the trust that we've identified is it's a flexible source of gap financing for these affordable housing projects. We have the ability to compete for state funds that are otherwise off the table because no trust exists in this region. It's really a targeted solution for regional issues. We've done a lot of outreach with individual agencies, and they've identified priorities within their jurisdictions that we can then kind of create solutions for. So it's really able to focus on what it is that the problem is in our region. And the ability to pull resources, so all of us working together, we can bring in additional dollars from the state and federal governments. The trust vision and goals that we've identified, it's really just attracting that funding that we wouldn't otherwise have access to and to build affordable housing in this area. So we are looking at different ways, potentially increasing and preserving affordable housing supply. So if there's existing buildings that can be rehabbed, those would be projects that would be eligible under the trust, as well as providing financial relief for vulnerable and cost-burdened households, and then protect against displacement and poor housing conditions. So these are the overarching goals of the trust. And why do we need a trust? I'm going to give you some statistics. This is a regional level. This is not specific to 29 Palms, so just kind of keep that in mind. We're looking at housing overcrowding, as I'm sure you're all aware. We have census tracts with more than 20% of households that experience overcrowding. Household overpayment, which is spending more than 30% of your income for your housing costs. And the region has census tracts where more than 80% of renters are burdened by the cost of housing. Poverty, the region has tracts with concentrations of more than 40% of households living below the poverty level. And then the cost of transportation is one of those costs that we combine with the cost of housing to really identify the level of cost burden there is for these folks. And in some parts of the region, it's almost 60%. And additionally, for tax credits, the state gives tax credits for affordable housing developers to higher resource areas. And if we implement a housing trust, that would be a bigger benefit and allow affordable housing developers to gain those tax credits, which makes this a more desirable area for them. We just heard about the RENA cycles. This is just a really quick look. So last cycle, the orange is what we, as a region, actually constructed. The blue is what was required, so we were below. And now, in this sixth cycle, the requirements are just really large for our region, and we would need an increase of 140% to meet those targets. So what have we done to date? We have done quite a bit of outreach with our local agencies. We have conducted a lot of research, a lot of analysis, and we created a strategic plan, which, Frank, I'm going to ask, that was included with the packet. So all of that information is pretty much all the work we've done to date, and if it's not there, then we can certainly send it over. But I'm just going to go through each one of these really quickly to just kind of give you an overview. So we reached out to all of our member jurisdictions, to the board members and to our city managers, again, to kind of identify what the priority issues are within those jurisdictions and to get a feel about whether or not this would be something they would be interested in. We had individual meetings with about 15 of the member agencies. And then we're looking at about 16 of 25. So we have 25 member agencies for the COG, and 16 of them are potentially interested, with quite a few that we really kind of don't have a read on them yet. We also interviewed outside organizations. So we looked at San Gabriel Valley Council of Governments. They have a housing trust. There's 2 in Orange County. So we really wanted to talk to them to see what the best practices are and lessons learned that they have that we can kind of learn from as we work towards implementing. And then we've done several presentations with our committees, with the city manager's TAC, and with our planning director's TAC.
Yeah, the strategic plan is attached.
Okay, great. So all this information, all the backup is in your packet. So we did a funding opportunity analysis where we find the different fund sources that can fund the trust. One is grant funding pursuits, and that's probably going to be the largest workhorse for the trust. We would love to implement a revolving loan fund for our member agencies, and that interest gained over time would be what we can actually throw back into the trust and fund other programs. We are looking to partner with a nonprofit, and in doing so, we would be able to gain private donations through the nonprofit for the trust as well, which gives us a lot more discretion in implementing programming and allocating those funds. We are looking at implementing at the COG SBCTA a VMT mitigation bank, and the housing trust would be an eligible recipient of some of those funds. And then earmark funds. We have learned from the other COGs and the trusts that exist throughout the region that most of the trusts have earned a pretty big earmark from their representatives, so we are really interested in going after those. We also did an affordable housing inventory. I know it's kind of hard to see, but in the blue dots are those that are existing affordable housing projects that were just completed in the last 5 years. And the orange are pipeline affordable housing projects. And we did a local gap, a funding gap analysis based on those projects. Essentially, of the completed developments, local dollars that were put towards those projects account for about 33% of those project costs. And for the pipeline projects, we're looking at about 35%. We are looking at the trust leveraging those dollars rather than supplanting them to give the affordable housing developer that much more of an incentive to build. So the structure of the trust is, we kind of talked about the vision and goals already, but these are the programming priorities for the trust that we've identified based on the outreach that we did with our local agencies. So definitely new construction of affordable housing, preservation or rehabilitation. We're looking at community land trust, workforce housing development, pre-development loans, down payment assistance, and financing for the purchase of land. Just to be very transparent and clear, these are the priorities identified. We would be subject to the prescription of whatever fund sources we're able to gain. So if we're looking at getting state dollars or federal dollars, obviously we'd have to follow the eligibility criteria. What would give us a lot more discretion on how these funds are built so that we can actually do a lot of these things like workforce and down payment assistance is those private donation dollars that would give us a little bit more flexibility in how we use those dollars. So administration of the housing trust, we would create a new JPA, which would consist of a board of directors, and every jurisdiction that is participating would be one board member. The city managers are very interested in incentivizing founding members. So we are looking at how we can do that, and then a 2-year term limit with no limit of terms. We have looked at how we would run it as a COG. We would have staffing requirements, a treasurer, auditor, controller, attorney, accounts. All of that is the background work that would be identified within our budget, which is the cost of the trust, which is looking at $315,000 for an annual operating budget with an escalation in cost every year. We are proposing that this cost be split among the member agencies that are going to be joining the trust by population. So the floor, $10,000 a year, up to $30,000 a year. So how it works is essentially, currently we're building the trust. We're kind of identifying who the member agencies are going to be through our Council of Governments, County Transportation Authority. And then once we have that JPA in place, we're going to fund the trust. We need to find these state, federal, private donations and any other funding sources that we can. And then we can allocate those to the projects, whether they're rural, suburban, and urbanized, with equity being the main, the main criteria in the mind of how we move forward. So the next steps, we are currently identifying the participating jurisdictions. We are working on a draft administrative plan, and this is going to be how the JPA will organize and prioritize programs and projects. We are currently working on our REAP 2.0 funding application, which is through SCAG. We will, once we are funded, we can establish a joint powers authority, and then we can adopt that administrative plan once those details are worked out. So currently, we are in December, and I'm sorry, this is an old, this is an old slide, but we are working, we are currently doing this type of outreach where we are meeting with city councils, and we are taking this item to our Metro Valley Study Session this week on Thursday. It's going to Mountain Desert Committee on Friday, and to our Board of Directors in January, on the board meeting. And then once we get that approval and apply for REAP, we're hoping for funding around March, April sometime, and then we can start establishing that new JPA. And that is the end of my presentation. If you're looking for any supplemental information, our website has the webpage up where you can find that.
Thank you. And Mr. Mayor, members of the council, just to add to that, just to explain gap financing, you know, I think from a council perspective, from a manager's perspective, we all want affordable housing. And there's a challenge in penciling it, right? It's easier said than done, right? And you know, the cost of the construction of the project, okay? Again, this is an affordable housing project, so the developer is only gonna take on a portion of the cost, right? Only a portion, not all of it, just a portion, because it has to be affordable. So the difference is some grant funds and other things that are out there, and the accumulation of all that, inevitably, there's always this gap, right? There's always this amount that we can't close to build the project. So every project, you always hear me say, well, it's tough to pencil, right? And that's the challenge with it, is penciling the projects. And hopefully this can be a tool to find those resources to close that gap.
And Frank, if I can add to that, that's exactly right. So we analyzed the last 5 years worth of projects and the pipeline projects. So it looks like the financing that the developer has to go through is about 10% of the project cost, and we're thinking that's where the trust is gonna play a role. It's not gonna cover the entire 10%, but it'll definitely lower the amount that they have to finance to make it a little bit more manageable for them.
The cost numbers you came up with, the population, if, let's say you get down the road and you don't get as many cities to participate, are you gonna have to adjust those up?
Yeah, that is based on the 16 that we think are interested in participating.
So I guess this question for you, Frank. Tonight, if we did this letter of intent, it wouldn't mean, if they came back to us in 3 months and says, instead of 15, it's gonna be 35 or 40, that's when we'd actually approve the actual plan, right? I mean, we wouldn't do that tonight?
Intent is not binding, right?
Right.
Ultimately, that JPA document that you sign will be the binding.
And that would be,
Yeah.
that would be when we'd get the final cost.
Correct.
Okay.
And one thing just to clarify though, however, is it the REAP that you're able to pay some of this initial cost to set up?
Yes.
Yeah, so.
So we are looking at a pot of about $14 to $15 million to start. And a good chunk of that is going to be to actually create the JPA, implement, put all of the agreements together, get the contract employee on board, put everything in place so that this can move, in addition to funding programs.
And so that would defer then some of the initial costs potentially?
Potentially, city managers have advised that we don't propose that, but it's definitely up for discussion because it's not a done deal yet.
Any more questions? Open up to the public. We got anybody who want to comment on this? All right, bring it back. Looking for a motion.
Well, I'd make a motion that we'd have a letter of interest into this project. I mean, obviously, this is something that it would really help our city. When they took away redevelopment funds it really hurt some of the projects. We had some lined up, and when they took it away, the projects went away. So I would say that we would, I'm going to make a motion that we sign a letter of intent. The mayor signs a letter of intent.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Klink,
Aye.
Councilmember Scott,
Aye.
Councilmember Mintz,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Buildering,
Aye.
Mayor Wright.
Aye.
Approved 5-0.
All right. Number 21, Public Arts Advisory Committee appointment.
All right, I'd like to present Cindy Bernard. She was the only applicant this time around to express an interest in being part of the Public Arts Advisory Committee, and she's up for appointment tonight.
All right.
Does anybody have
Yeah.
any questions for me?
Yeah, any questions?
Are you excited?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's, you know, I mean, it's really kind of a drag that Pat wasn't able to make the presentation about the PAAC tonight, because she and Ann have done great work, and I think the presentation hopefully will happen at the next council meeting, and you can see all of the foundation that she's laid down towards working towards arts and culture in 29 Palms. She, Ann Cogden, and also of course Chuck Kaplinger, you know, put in a lot of great work on the PAAC, and we're sort of going to PAAC 2.0 with some new members, and hopefully expanding the mission slightly so that we can also fund arts and culture in 29 and create lots of great opportunities for our residents to experience arts and culture in our town, because right now there isn't that much. So that's what we're looking forward to being able to do.
Thank you. Anybody from the public? All right, bring it back to council. Looking for a motion.
I'll make a motion to appoint Cindy Bernard to the PAAC.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Scott,
Aye.
Councilmember Buildering,
Aye.
Councilmember Klink,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Buildering, Mayor Wright.
Aye.
Approved 5-0.
Do I get to vote?
Didn't I say Mintz? I didn't say Mintz. Councilmember Mintz.
Called Steve twice.
You threw me off. Councilmember Mintz,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Buildering.
Aye
Three
again.
times.
And
That's
Mayor
3 votes. Wait a
Wright.
minute here. Hold on.
Aye.
Let's get it clear.
Is that it?
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you, I'm honored.
Congratulations.
All right. Future initiated items. Anybody want to put anything on the future council initiated items?
Yeah, I do. I'd like to make a motion to put a future agenda item to propose a new appointment process for planning commissioners.
I'll second that for him.
Okay. All right, thank you.
And Mr. Mayor, if I could just update, you know, obviously the list growing by one more. We're going to try to pick off the 2-story homes in Indian Cove in the month of January. And given the timing of the election, we'll definitely bring the Planning Commission appointment up as well, and maybe even consolidate that with the voting for the mayor as opposed to the current system all in one time. So we'll kind of try to pick some of those off very shortly.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, real quick, I see seasonal banners throughout the city. Did we at one time talk about doing a military one where we would take high school graduates that went into the service, put their pictures on those banners?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think City Clerk Viescas and I think Kim Pope maybe were kind of talking about that is kind of options that were out there, I believe. We'll definitely bring that forward to see kind of where we're at.
Yeah,
on
Ridgecrest
it.
has that. You might want to just call them and see how they went about it. I think it's good to have it out there to see how many of our men and women from high school have gone into the service, and I just think it'd be great to see them up there.
I think Menifee has it too.
Okay.
Okay, public comments. This is the time for the public to address the city council on issues within the jurisdiction of the city council that are not on this agenda. All comments are to be directed to the city council and shall not consist of any personal attacks. Members of the public are expected to maintain a professional, courteous decorum during their comments. There is a time limitation of 3 minutes per person. If you haven't already done so, please fill out name and address slips and give them to the city clerk. The city council is prohibited by state law from taking action or discussing items not included on the printed agenda. Public comments on specific agenda items will be deferred until consideration of the item on the agenda. We got any public comments? All right, we good to go. We're gonna keep it rolling.
Yeah, but we have somebody else here.
Oh, I almost skipped that. City manager's update.
Yeah, when I was briefing new Councilmember Scott today, I said, yeah, usually this part is when all the council members give me a hard time about talking too much. So I will be brief. So we just got a notice today. Actually, we're going to be putting it out on social media and on our website. SoCal Gas has got a grant or a partnership with Google Nest. So they'll be giving for free smart devices so people can save some money in their electricity. So or gas. We'll be putting that information out. So hopefully some of our residents can get those smart meters. Lucky Park Pool is anticipated to be complete by the end of March, beginning of April. So we continue the process, and that March, April will be just right around. It truly is right around the corner. Grocery outlet, good news. I know this is long awaited. The grocery outlet will be opening this Thursday. I think 8 o'clock in the morning. I think they'll be opening. They'll be doing a little ceremony. So I'm sure right in time for the holiday shopping season for food. So perfect timing.
Hey, real quick on that, did they take care of the electrical problem that they had?
They're going to be on temporary power, generator power, until they can get their permanent power.
It's not going to be too loud, is it?
It's been operating since October 24th because they've been stocking it, and zero complaints. It actually is very quiet.
Okay.
You and I talk about that. It is really super quiet.
Is the grand opening at 8 or 10?
Oh, it's 10.
Oh, we're supposed to do that? Did we get a notice of that?
Then last couple things. So Monday actually was our annual ROPS. Remember several years ago we had our local oversight board. We had to approve the ROPS. Our ROPS was our Recognize Obligation Payment Schedule, I think is the acronym. Anyway, those are our payments that we go to pay our bonds for Project Phoenix primarily. And we go to the oversight board meeting every year at this time, and they approve that annual payment. So that was complete Monday. I'm going to ask the captain if he could make an announcement on an event on Friday.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I just wanted to let you all know, as well as the public, that on Friday we are going to be having a Coffee with a Cop event up at Starbucks right here up the street, 8 in the morning to 10. Starbucks is kind enough to donate coffee. If you like regular coffee and Danishes, come on by, or if you'd like one of their specialty drinks, of course, they'll be on sale. We're going to try and do these events about every 3 months. We're going to come out here to 29 Palms. Good opportunity for residents to talk to deputies. I will be out there if there's any questions that people don't necessarily want to call the police department for, but maybe want to come out over a cup of coffee and ask those questions or get to know the deputies who are serving here in town. It's a good opportunity, and I'd encourage them to come out.
Thank you. Friday. 8 to 10. I also want to, I'm sorry, Frank.
Oh, sorry, just one
I
last
thought
thing.
you
I
was done.
missed it, and I apologize. Just wanted to congratulate Eli on Employee of the Year. Mayor Ogilvy, excellent selection. We've got a great staff of employees, many of which are deserving. But Eli is that silent giant of taking on duties and getting things done, and he's just a great selection for the Employee of the Year. He really was very deserving. And just like to wish the council, the staff, and the community a very Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and Happy Holidays.
Thank you. I did want to mention that we did also attend the Sheriff's Department Appreciation Tacos. Man, them things was good. Yeah, they was good.
I was there, I forgot about that.
Yeah, they was good. I lost count. All right. So this meeting is adjourned.
I know. The first part of that was.
Well, do it over Coffee Friday. How about that? I hope to see you there. 8 to 10 in the morning. Yeah, anytime in there. Yeah, we try and do it on different days and different times, so we'll do it again if you can't do that one. Take care.
In the